Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Jack of all trades. Now, I'm having to do a voiceover, guys, because I had some copyright problems with playing a radio in the background. So I learned my lesson the hard way. But basically, what we're doing here is working on my daughter's little, I call it a mini barn dominium because it's all out of steel, but it's 15 by 30, and she's done an awesome job. She's got a whole floor plan and everything. So we're just here, me and my son, gonna come out, and we're just helping her put up the side walls and so forth. So now there are parts of the video I'll be able to leave some of the audio in. So deal with me here as I go through this. Her back door, and if you notice, it's got J trim all the way around it, and that's something you got to do. You got to get your tray trim on first before you start sheeting. And then she's got her window here, we got the J trim around that, and then at the bottom we're going to put these they're called closures. I always call them rubbers in the old ironworkers. That's what we call them rubbers. And so if you hear me call things not according to exactly what they are, that's why, guys. My old terminology's kicking in. Okay, so these are we're gonna space these out right here every 3 feet. Well, I'm gonna put marks. I actually like to put them every 1 foot, that way, and I'll show you why that is here in a minute. And then over here we got all the sheets laying down on the ground, and we're gonna pre-drill those. We're gonna put now you may wonder, why did she put so many girts in here? And the reason is because we're gonna use those for the inside to run either drywall or plywood or whatever we're gonna use for the interior wall. So that makes it a lot easier for us, guys, to be able to do that. So we just put these on 2 foot spacings, and so when we drill the sheets, we're going to drill them at the bottom, one set of screws in the center, and of course at the top, and that's all we're going to need. And then we're going to show you how we're going to cut out the sheets on the wall around all the windows and doors and everything. And this thing I actually built myself. If you've ever seen a Rusco, we used to build them, we used to work off of them years ago, and these things are awesome to work off of because you can actually sheet almost 20 feet without moving. And so I made this trailer and everything out of with these tires, and it's actually a 4-wheel trailer, like a farm trailer. And then I just made these poles. Actually, they're like big turnbuckles. So I used all thread for it, 1 inch all thread with reverse threads on one end, and that made the turnbuckles. And then I, of course, just built every piece here. So let's check it out. Let's get this thing rolling. I'm pretty sure we'll get all this backside sheeted pretty quick. So let's get going. So see here, we're drilling them. So we only drill the bottoms all the way, what I call 100%, so you can see it there. And then we're going to drill the girt line. She's going to start drilling them right now. She already marked them for the girts, and we're marking only the center girt. That's more than plenty for this. We'll drill one there, and then every foot. So it'll be there, and then another one there. And the top's pre-drilled, but you didn't really have to. Those you can just kind of eyeball when you're up there. And then on the stitch screws where the 2 sheets come together, we drill those every 2 feet, starting at the bottom. So that way you know your layout.
Exactly, they're all short, but some are stitch and some are steel. They sent me all short ones. The stitch and steel from Ram. That's why I had to go get more steel screws.
Why did you get short steel?
You ordered it. Don't.
No, I didn't order short steel. I never did that.
This was part of the original order.
Oh, they just gave it to us.
They gave it to us. They gave us short steel. So I bought more steel.
These are all steel.
These ones, are these steel or are these stitch? So yeah. I had to buy more steel from Ram.
And you still.
Yeah.
So I opened up the steel one. Alright, that's the video.
All right, guys, this is where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. So we're getting ready to tool all up. We're getting everything together, and you can see the tools that I'm using. There's my tool belt. That's my comfort belt from Occidental. It's really good. So you see me make a lot of videos and stuff, guys, on these tools, but this is where we actually use them to see what, and without them, we just can't get the job done. So that's my Occidental leather. I got a Pico pencil there that I use for writing down on the sheets or marking the sheets for cutting or writing down sizes. Here's the Tough Built contractor pouch. I like it a lot because it's got two big pockets there for the screws, and you can get your hands in there real easy. So that's why I prefer that one over a lot of them, and it just works really well. So, and I'll leave these in the description for you guys so that you have it. And then I always carry some vice grips there for clamping the sheets off up at the top when you're running the top. So when you get that sheet up there, you can just clamp it. You don't have to sit there and try to fight with it as you try to get a stitch screw in it. And so forth. Now, I also use a DeWalt impact driver, and it's that one right there. It's the DCF 860, and I like this holster that I have here. It's actually called a D-Nash. I got it on Amazon. Really kind of hard to find though, but I'm going to leave one in the link that's just almost identical to it. I think it's actually a copy of it that I think is just it's actually the same. It's just a different name on it. And so I'll leave that in the description for you guys if you're interested in getting one. That I like it because it's got the two pockets on the outside, and it's also got the tape holder, and it's also got some little pockets on the ends where you can put pencils or some other bits and so forth that you can use. And then that little gun right there, I have that 1.7 amp power stack. And that thing, it really runs good with that power stack. It has a lot of power. And I have a couple of those batteries, so I just alternate them. But I actually lasted me the whole day with just the two batteries. And that's not even if I didn't charge them. So just keep that in mind. And the reason I like it is because it's so lightweight. Now, my daughter doesn't have a sheeting belt, so I'm loaning her my belt. And then of course right there I always have a hammer with me. You never know when you need to hit something, right? And then a tape measure, compact tape measure from Klein. I really like this one. It's lightweight. I just like to go lightweight. And now my daughter's using the Klein belt here, and this is a nice little belt, little padded belt. I got that from Lowe's. I'll put that in the description as well. You can get them on Amazon as well. And then I also got a hammer holder on that one. And then this is the Flux X pouch, and this is just a versatile pouch. You mostly use it for doing like electrical and solar and stuff, but today I'm letting her use it for this, and it just shows you how versatile this thing is. The fact that you can do that. And then this holster, drill holster or impact holster, whatever you want to call it, came off my SPMC Vito bag. And it's got the magnetic clip. So I forgot what this one was called, but they actually sell this separate now. They used to not. But now you can actually get it. It also has a tape holder on the outside as well. So that's nice. That little holster that that Vito makes there. And then here's the screws that we're using. I'm just showing you the difference between the steel and the stitch. The long one is the steel screw. It's the one that's you're going to use to go into the steel from the sheet, and then the little one, the little stitch screw there, of course that's the steel one that I'm showing you, and then the little stitch screw is the one for just putting sheet to sheet. So sorry guys again about the voiceover, but here I'm just marking out for the closures for the bottom of the sheet. That seals the sheet at the bottom, and I'm marking them every foot, and that way you can put the center of that profile of the closure right there, and it gets it real nice. And that's what I was kind of just explaining here, because if you don't do that, what happens is when you put that sheet on, if that closure is not just right, it gives you, not only wants to push the sheet over where it doesn't want to go, but also leaves little gaps in there that you have to deal with later. Now these closures, they just stick on. They have like a sticky backing on them, and that's why when they give them to you, they're on paper. So you just take that and you stick it on, and you just line it up with your mark there. That's why I put a mark every 1 foot. Now we measured it. We're exactly 30 feet, and if you're 30 foot, half inch, you might have to cheat those closures a 16th each one. You got 10 of them, so you just got to figure out how much you got to cheat each one. And there's ways to cheat the sheets a little bit ahead or behind as you sheet. Now, the insulation is 6 feet wide, so we're just getting started here. So we need to put at least 6 feet of those closures on before we start. And then also, after we get the 2 closures on, then we need to come back and put our two-face on. And their two-face, it's called two-face tape. We put that on, and I like to put 2 rows there. And what that's for is when we're going to put our vinyl back insulation on, you're going to see that here. And we're going to stick that vinyl back to it, so that way it holds it for you until you get your sheets on. And once you put your sheets on, you're golden, because your sheets, they screw to it and it sandwiches that vinyl back to it, and you don't have to worry about it at that point. So that's all I'm showing you here, guys. Just getting it all ready and so forth. So and again, if you have any questions or anything as we're doing this, just feel free to comment on it. And as we go through here, we're not only going to be do this, but we still got the roof to do, we got the end walls to do, and so forth. So there's a lot of work still here to do as we're doing it. And so stay tuned. We got more videos coming out on this, and of course, not only that, we're going to be installing solar on this thing as well. Running an inverter, at least a 5,000 watt or 6,000 watt inverter on there, and installing a mini split on it as well. And I think it's going to be a 110 mini split, but we are going to run 220 power to her electrical panel, and this will be totally off grid, guys. It's not going to be a hybrid. It'll be totally off grid. So the electrical will be all out there. I mean, all solar, and so it'll be totally independent of the electric company, which is a good thing, I guess. And so now you see that I put that two-face on, and now we're after we do that, we're going to get the insulation over there, and we're almost ready to sheet now, guys. So of course I got a cut for that for this window right here is what I got to do next. So that's what I got to do. I got to measure that, just measuring it all out right here, and then just get over there, and then I gotta cut that out. All right, guys, I want to show you something here. Notice how this side of the sheet, the rib only goes so far, and then on this side, you see how it goes all the way over, and then has that where it sits on the bottom here, right here. What this is called is PBR sheets. So this is an R panel PBR. And these are better. These are better quality sheets. And the reason is, when you put the sheet against the steel and you go to put this sheet on top and you screw it, it keeps it from flapping out. Just remember that this is the bottom of the sheet, and the next sheet will go over this one. You don't want to put this sheet over the other one. You don't want to do it backwards, because that's wrong. And it defeats the purpose of having this PBR. And we'll show you again why it's a better quality sheet. And it's so it costs a little bit more, probably like 5 cents a lineal foot more or whatever it is. but it's worth its weight in gold. And I would recommend this for the sidewalls and the roof. It really is great. It gives you a better look, and you don't have that. You're not trying to fight the seams where you get that really bad where it caves in and stuff. So it really helps with that. So there's a good tip for you guys right there. By the time you guys are done watching my channel, you're going to be professionals. Ain't that right, Jared? Alright guys, all we're doing here is putting on the two-face, getting the insulation ready, and then of course we got a window to cut around, we got the sheet got to cut, so a little slow getting in there, and so now she's up there putting the sheet on. So she's having a little hard time there, and I was wondering why, but so I think it's turned out to be the screw gun, the battery on that screw gun just was giving out, and so I was kind of asking her what's going on there, and that's why life isn't always easy, right guys? It just it gets tough sometimes, and then so she's struggling with it, and so she finally gets it there, and then she's trying the other one, and the gun's just really giving her a hard time. I didn't know what was going on, so I went up there and I kind of just helped her out a little bit, and then I realized, well, you know, she reminded me that I was the one who gave her that gun. So, as you know, now it's my fault. So, so yeah. So anyway, well, we got this going on. Just, you know, sometimes you get that start and it gets a little rough, you know. So we're just getting it on, and once you get it going, you know, it kind of gets going pretty fast. The only thing that really slows you down on these sidewalls or whatever it is all the cuts, you know, around the windows and stuff and fitting them in. But once you get past the cut, you start going down that wall when you don't have any cuts, man, you can really fly. It's just the same thing. Just rinse and repeat, you know, just keep doing it over and over, and you'll get there, and then eventually you'll look back at the end of the day and say, wow, we got a lot done. But sometimes when you're doing it, boy, it's a struggle. You're like, man, this is back-breaking sometimes. But yeah, like I said, we're sheeting over here. My son's joined us. Yep. Let's see what he's rocking. What are you rocking, Jaden, on your tool belt here? He's got the Occidental leather bags and belt. So what are those? You want to tell us about your bags, man?
Not really.
Come on, man. All right. Well, he's got the Occidental leather.
Yep. And I want to put this.
All right. So here we just keep going down it. We're just trying to get this back wall done. We got that. She's going to put a double door right there. It's going to be actually I think it's a glass door she's going to put, and so that'll be real nice there. So we're just finishing that up, getting all the insulation in there. That insulation has it has an R10 value. So now we're coming up with a game plan as far as what we're going to do for the day. And my son was telling me that he's got some J trim that he can finish real quick, but I'm giving him a hard time here because I was, you know, because he had a hard time with that J trim. Just ran into some problems, but we got to figure it out for a game plan today, and we're going to get after it and just keep going, man. And then once we got this end on, we're planning to move over to the other side, get everything set up, and we'll sheet the other side. So if we get these two sides on today, we know we would be doing good. And man, we had such a beautiful day in weather. That was awesome. Can't have that every day, that's for sure. As far as the wind goes, that's the main thing, is the wind. And over here in El Paso, man, the wind's horrible sometimes, if you know what I mean. So guys, this is actually I call it a tiny home, but it's really all out of steel and so forth. So really, we could call this, instead of a tiny home, a small barn dominium or a mini barn dominium. That's the way I'd like to think about it, instead of a tiny home. And really, it has some major advantages. Number one, you don't have to worry about termites if you have termites in the area. Or also the maintenance on it is almost nothing. It's also considered fire resistant material. So if you're up in cabins or something like that where there's fires, you don't have to worry about embers falling on your roof and catching that on fire. So just some things that I think about when we build these. They're really nice because of that. Costs a little bit more, but man, they are tough. They are really tough built little buildings, and this thing's going to last forever. Guys, thanks for joining us today on this build. I hope that you got something to take home with you today, and I had a lot of fun today. I wasn't really feeling 100%, but we got it done, and had a lot of fun working with my daughter. Of course, we all ended up happy. It's her house, and she did take me out to eat, so that was awesome. Got to have dinner with her. So anyway, guys, if you have any suggestions, you have any questions, please shoot them that way, man. And I hope to see you on the next one. If you want to see how all this comes out, make sure you subscribe. And we'll see you guys soon. And you guys, like I always say, man, you have a great day. See you on the next one.